All right, today we're diving into something really powerful. The whole concept of I am consciousness. It's all about discovering that part of you that exists way beyond your job title, or your name, or even your reflection in the mirror. And, more importantly, how tapping into it can literally change everything. So, let's jump right in.
So let's just start with the biggest question there is. Who are you? I mean, who are you really? And I don't mean the easy, surface-level answers. If you had to strip away every single label you've ever been given, what's actually left? Let's start peeling back some of those layers we often mistake for our true selves.
You know, it's so easy to define ourselves by what we do for a living. I'm a doctor. I'm a teacher. But think about it for a second. You aren't your job. That's just a role you play. And roles change all the time. But the real you, that core part of you, that's always there, right?
Okay, what about your name? That's the one label that's been with you pretty much your whole life. But even that was given to you. It's really just a label, a sound people make to get your attention. But it's not the essence of who you are.
And now for the big one. You are not your body. I mean, your body is changing constantly, from moment to moment. It's this incredible vehicle that you get to use to experience the world, but it's not the driver. So, okay, if you're not your job, not your name, and not even this body, then what in the world is left? Well, that's exactly what we're about to uncover.
All right, let's go beyond that physical identity. It's time to really understand our true self. We're going to peel back all those temporary labels and finally see what's really underneath it all.
And at the core of you is something called divine sentience. Now, a really simple way to wrap your head around this is to think of it as just pure awareness. It's kind of like the sky. Your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences, those are all just clouds passing through. The sky itself, though, it's always there, unchanging. That is the real you, the part that's always present and can connect to something so much bigger.
So in a way, we're all living in two realities at once. On one hand, you've got the body-mind complex. That's our everyday experience, right? Operating at lower frequencies, feeling separate, living in this temporary suit. But on the other hand, you have your true self, that divine sentience, which operates at the highest frequencies and knows only oneness. And really, the whole spiritual journey is about shifting your identity from this temporary suit to that eternal true self.
Okay, so if that's our true self, how in the world do we actually connect with it? Well, that brings us right to the universal I am power. This single, incredible life force that is flowing through absolutely everything in existence. And look, this power isn't some distant, abstract idea. It is right here, right now. I mean, it's the very intelligence that's circulating your blood and making sure you're breathing right now as you're listening to my voice. It's the same exact force that's moving the clouds, growing the trees, and keeping the stars in the sky. It's literally everywhere, holding the entire universe in perfect harmony. The only question is, are we paying attention to it?
So how do we tap into this? Well, it really boils down to three key disciplines. First up, know thyself. This is all about getting deeply acquainted with the real you, the one beyond the ego. Second, accept thyself. This is where you learn to truly embrace that divine nature and start managing your own thoughts. And finally, the third step, become the creator. This is where the magic happens, where you start to consciously use that awareness to shape your reality.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? How do we put it into practice? This next part is all about the daily habits that take these ideas from something you just kind of understand in your head to something you actually live and breathe every single day.
You can think of this path to mastery as a clear progression. You start by sitting, just finding that stillness and awareness, maybe in meditation. From there, you move to standing, where you develop stability and can hold that presence. Next comes walking. You start consistently applying this awareness in your day-to-day life. And finally, you get to running, where your growth just accelerates and creating from this space becomes second nature.
Now, one of the most powerful tools in your toolkit here is the I am declaration. And I want to be clear, this is so much more than just reciting positive affirmations. When you state I am, you're making a profound declaration. You're literally plugging your own consciousness directly into the creative mainframe of the universe.
Let's try one. Just take a moment and feel into this one. I am the presence of love at all times. When you say this and you feel it, you're not just hoping to be more loving. You are commanding your entire being to align with the frequency of love, which, in this view, is the ultimate creative force.
Or maybe you're feeling some kind of lack in your life. Try this on for size. I am the infinite power of the universe supplying this need right now. See what that does? It's a massive shift in perspective. You're moving your focus away from what you think is missing and tapping directly into the truth of infinite supply.
And this isn't just for mental or spiritual stuff, it applies to your physical health too. Just feel the power in this statement. I am the perfect intelligence operating in every cell of my body. What you're doing here is consciously directing that universal intelligence to work for you, right inside you, promoting harmony and well-being.
And what about those internal battles? You know, the fear, the worry, the doubt? This next one is an absolute game changer. I am the consuming power of every fear, worry, and doubt. With this, you're not trying to argue with your fears. Instead, you're declaring a higher truth, that your I am presence is infinitely more powerful and can simply dissolve them.
All right, this is where it gets really, really exciting. We're moving from just being aware of this power to actively using it. So how do we take this deep inner connection and actually become the conscious creators of our own lives?
Now, the biggest roadblock for most of us, it's our own mind. It's that ego mind, right? It just loves to create fear and doubt and limitation, and that depletes your spiritual energy. The secret isn't to fight the ego, that just gives it more power. The key is to respond with what's called poised confidence. You just acknowledge the doubt, you see it, but you don't become it. And then you calmly, firmly reaffirm your I am truth.
And when you do that, you enter this beautiful flow state of creation. It's a simple 4-part dance. First, you declare your I am statement with real feeling and conviction. Then, and this is the hardest part for most of us, you release it. You let go of the how and when. Next, you just flow, allowing that universal power to work its magic without you forcing it. And finally, you open yourself to receive the outcome with gratitude.
You know, this whole journey, it really unfolds in stages. It usually kicks off with an awakening, that first aha moment when you realize who you truly are. That sparks a transformation, where you start to purify all those old, limiting beliefs. From there, you move into illumination, where your consciousness just expands in incredible ways. And the most beautiful part of this? It culminates in service. When you're full, you naturally want to share it. You start using your power to uplift everyone around you.
So here we are full circle, but now with a completely different understanding, right? The I am is the one and only creative power, and it's not out there somewhere. It is flowing through you this very second. So the only real question left is, what will you create with it?